Hi everyone, and welcome back to Natty's Nook, where you'll hear about books that could become your next best reads. If you missed last week's book, or you're just simply new to the channel, I really encourage you to go check out my first review or the last one that you happen to miss. The first review is called Channel Intro plus First Review, if you don't know what it's called, and I really encourage you to go and catch up on it. It was awesome. I also really encourage you to please stay updated because sometimes the plots could connect, the same author could be present, or they could just become your new favorite novel, and who wouldn't want that, especially for an avid reader like me. If you're not new to the channel and you're just waiting for this next review, sit back, relax, and enjoy the next look inside Natty's Nook. Today's book is going to be 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. Now this novel has a 4.2 star rating on Goodreads, and it really is a special one for me. So I really do hope that you look into it. Now, before I give you my ultimate opinion on the novel, I'm going to give you a little bit of background to start formulating your own opinion first. Now this novel is centered around two kids that have both contracted the disease called cystic fibrosis. Also known as CF, cystic fibrosis affects the amount of mucus that your lungs produce. Now, in the most severe cases, it completely blocks the airways and doesn't allow oxygen to pass through. Now, we all know what this means. If no oxygen can pass through the lungs, there really isn't a way for these kids to breathe, meaning it can really affect their lifestyle, the amount of doctor's visits, and the amount of lifestyle changes, and the stuff that these kids miss out on. Now, Stella Grant, the first teen that we learn about, is super rigid in her routines. She is set in her ways and decides that she wants to focus on fighting this disease. She hates what it has taken away from her, and she wants to make sure that she's doing everything in her power to make this disease not have as much of a dominant role in her life. Now, Will Newman, on the other hand, the second teen that we learn about, is not as rigid. In fact, he's almost a polar opposite of Stella. He also has the disease called bisapatia, which is a step higher in severity scale, meaning that he's being harmed even more than Stella is, and his body just isn't functioning really well. So his non-routineness is going to affect him in the long run, but not for long, because when these two meet and Stella realizes how off he has been in his routines in medicine, she really does realize that he needs help. So when she begins to help him get into better habits, these two fall in love. Now the CF motto is 6 feet apart at all times. These two kids find that the 6 feet apart becomes more and more of a punishment than a safety thing. Now, the 6 feet apart is meant for a reason. It's meant to prevent bacteria from passing, because if the bacteria touches, then it can kill these two kids. Now, the two things that these two 18-year-old teens want are both lung transplants, except Will isn't eligible for one because of his bisapatia. Now, Stella is, and when these two grow close, they have to realize that it really is a choice between life and death. Now, this novel is the only book I've ever read in all the books I've read that has ever brought me to tears. Now, I think that should probably say something, because having this book bring me to tears out of everything really does put it on a balance and says how much this novel has really affected me. Now, there's so many different heartwarming scenes in this book, and it's not all just rigid medicine, complicated stuff. It's funny, and it really does change your outlook. Now, I give this book a 5-star rating because of that reason. It changed my whole perspective, and it completely changed my outlook on life. Now, it also made me grateful for what I have, because I now know that millions of other kids out there have contracted this disease and really just want better health. And I should just learn to be more grateful for the health that I've been given. Now, this book has a little bit of language, but here's the thing that I really want you to take away from this. If you haven't really paid attention to anything I've said in this whole review, listen to this. Open this book as long as you're at the age of 13 or older and read it. because this book is going to teach you something. It can be the light in the darkness for you. I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know where you've been, but I really do think that this novel can have a serious impact on your lifestyle. I know it has on mine, and I really, really, really wish that same thing for you. Now, I recommend this book for readers that really want a clear depiction of what true love looks like. Now, 5 Feet Apart has just concluded my 2019 season of Natty's Nook Reviews. Now, first of all, thank you guys so much for your support, and I can't wait to get back doing this once 2020 starts up. But first, I want to say, one, get a cup of holiday cheer. Just have some fun this season. Just take a much needed break, recuperate, spend some great time with family and friends, and make some awesome memories. Second, I want you to read a lot. Do some reading more than you have all year. Read some awesome novels and suggest them to me because I'm always looking for novels that will blow my mind. I didn't ever think that 5 Feet Apart would have any impact at all, but then I read it and I said, wow, I'm so glad I did this because it really has made me a better person. And third, I want you to look back on this year and know that without you guys, I would not be here right now. So thank you to each and every one of you who has been watching my videos, and I can't wait to see you back on Sunday, January 5th at 5 p.m. Central Time for the 19th edition of Natty's Nook.